Oh, thank fuck. I'll probably be needing those. So here we see Professor Quirrell going towards the Sorcerer's Stone instead of the suspected Professor Snape. I'm not sure why this was something that was shown here before we encounter him. Seems pointless to me. Either you've read the book or seen the movie and already know what the twist is going to be, or you haven't for some reason and you're going to find out who's really after the stone in less than a minute anyways. Quirrell should be encountered by Harry suddenly and dramatically, face to face, like right here.
I wondered whether I'd be meeting you here, Potter. I suppose you were expecting someone else. Well, it's me, scared, stuttering Professor Quirrell. You're far too inquisitive to remain among the living.
I guess I have to get up there and beat his face in with my bare hands or something. Yeah, I guess I'll just start pushing these then. Surely he's not just gonna stand there, right? Oh, I see, it's a game of tug-of-war, except that we're pushing instead of pulling. Okay, well, what the fuck was that? He hit me with something? At least he isn't rapid-firing like I am, so I can actually still move this pretty easily. I guess the green one is meant to hurt me? That must be what hit me earlier. At least he can't seem to push the pillar sideways, so his attacks are useless once I get it in front of one of these raised floor tiles. I guess he's too high up to see it anymore and doesn't want to take a few steps forward to fix that problem. Holy shit, he fucking propelled me like 15 feet forward into the wall. I guess I should have been running backwards so he couldn't attack me with my back turned. But anyways, like I was saying earlier about the little cutscene showing Quirrell entering the room before we officially encountered him, that was just really weird to me, because regardless of whether you know that there's an upcoming twist or not, it's just a really shitty way of presenting the information that it's actually Quirrell who was the antagonist this whole time. And if that doesn't sound like such a big deal, imagine if you were watching the movie, and there were 10 seconds of footage in between the time that Harry left Ron and Hermione behind, and the time he confronts Quirrell in the final room. And in this 10 seconds of footage, it shows Harry entering a long hallway that leads to the stone, and he sees the back of Quirrell's purple robes for a second as Quirrell enters the final room. It's just a terrible way to present information to the viewer, especially if that information is a plot twist. And maybe it's not as big a deal in the game if you assume the vast majority of players know the outcome anyways, but it's just really weird and, let's not forget, completely unnecessary to begin with. You had a chance to hit me in the face from close range, and you do that instead?
Curses, Potter! You will not succeed again.
Okay, can't do shit. You're just gonna walk away? You mean I have another chance to succeed? You're just gonna let me go, to either follow you for a chance to take you out a second time, or to run back and tell the school that you attacked me? And I intentionally ran up into you, touched you, so I guess I should look for Voldemort elsewhere. He's clearly not anywhere here, and thank you for not destroying the chocolate frogs either.
Wow. He has the stone.
Give me the stone.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Please speak to him face to face.
Your voice sounds like rust. Whatever that might sound like. Oh god, here it comes. You just fucking turned your head around 180 degrees like an owl? And look at that face. Okay. Well, now that last chocolate frog is gonna melt, you know.
You can't escape me, Potter. Surrender.
Oh, now you can just rapid fire those green attacks at me. Are you somehow more powerful with your neck twisted backwards? Yeah, I don't know. Guess if it didn't work on Quirrell earlier, it wouldn't work on Voldemort now.
Maybe I can cast Repender on the wobbly pillars.
Oh, so I have to knock him in the head now. If he can just twist his head backwards 180 degrees and be more powerful, I don't see how hitting him in the head will hurt him too much. Okay, the first couple of times that I hit the pillar, nothing even happened. And it doesn't even hurt him that much, although I think the first pillar somehow missed him. And that third one missed him too. Although I guess I have to wait for him to dislodge it and make the pillar unstable first before I can knock it over. Let's go with that. Yeah, that seems to be it. Okay, these pillars just fall in one direction, and I'm probably being too impatient and knocking them over too soon before he stands directly behind it. See, that time I got him, but I'm out of pillars now. Did your stomach just shoot that? Well, I'm out of ideas again. I'm not sure if I can touch him now, although he looks ready to throw some fists too. Well, that sucked. Oh, you're shitting me. Every time I die, I have to watch this intro sequence again? Okay, once is enough. It's not that special that I need to see it twice, or even more often than that if I get killed again. I'm gonna time how long this takes, by the way.
He has the stone.
Give me the stone.
Let me speak to him face to face.
Master, you're not strong enough.
Well, given that he defeated me once between my first viewing of this cutscene and the second viewing now, I would disagree with that, shitlord. The way he says Harry's name is like he's overcompensating for not being scary enough. And done. The whole goddamn intro sequence is like 57 seconds or something. Didn't someone test play this and think to themselves, you know, maybe, just maybe, people are going to want to wait for a full minute to try again if Voldemort successfully defeats you. No, you want to get going again immediately. Just restart the game where you two are standing face to face. Have Veltimold stand there for a second, not moving, so you have a chance to hide behind something, and just pick up where you left off. Don't give me this unskippable cutscene more than once, or at least give me the option to skip it. That's clearly Voldemort saying kill him, but isn't he in control of the body right now? I mean, he still relied on Quirrell to do everything in the book and movie, ordering him around and all, but I guess turning his head around so that V-Man is facing me now made me forget that little detail. So I guess Quirrell is still attacking me while facing the wrong direction. Or if he closes his eyes, maybe he can see through Voldemort's eyes now? He's not even that scary looking, whether it's the cutscene or his health meter. He looks like the sad half of a pair of Mardi Gras masks that was just spray-painted silver. This guy's gonna destroy all my shit that I can hide behind. And dead again. Oh, fuck this shit. I hate doing this, but it's the last episode. I'm not gonna make you sit through this whole thing for a third time. In fact, I'm just gonna start cutting out repetitive shit. Maybe I should have done that anyways throughout the entire series, but it's an arbitrary rule of mine that I just follow unless I feel like breaking it. Well, I feel like I'm at least using the pillars more effectively, even if I'm still getting hit too often. Oh, okay, so I can hit the mirror. guess there's a reason for me to be able to do that. Jesus Christ, if I hadn't been hit with those green blasts of light earlier and wasn't only somewhat hurt by them, I would think he's rapid-firing the Avada Kedavra curse at me with his bare hands instead of using a wand.
Now I have you.
Dude, fuck off. And I still don't know what to do with the mirror, unless it deflects attacks or something, but why would the Mirror of Erezid deflect attacks back at you? Wouldn't that be one of the last things Voldemort would want to see reflected at him? I don't know, but it's worth a shot, I guess. Yes, it worked. Take that, you pixie dust war pup that can't tell the difference between his teeth and the rest of his face. Now, what is this stupid aimbot attack that follows me around wherever I walk? I don't see any way to outrun it. It's not like I move as fast as I can possibly run while going sideways or backwards. It's not like I can turn around to overrun it at full speed. Wow, I didn't even have to reorient the mirror that time. Actually, I might actually succeed. Wait, what the fuck? Did he shoot something through the mirror that time? Bullshit.
You can't escape me.
Maybe I can cast the pendant on the wobbly pillars.
Kill him.
I don't know what else to say. Did I make a joke yet about how the pillars look like logs of shit and that Voldemort is getting shit-faced? Because if I did, I apologize. That's not really very funny.
Hand over the stone. You will yield to me.
Oh, no, 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 not this again. Ugh, got away. Just barely, though. Also, if I make any jokes that are puns, at least unironically, although I'm not sure if even adding irony would save a pun, just slap my balls or something, because puns are probably my least favorite form of humor. Even lower than potty humor, where I say the pillars look like logs of shit. Puns. Did I fucking die again?
You can't escape me.
Maybe I can cast the pendant on the wobbly pillars.
Yes, thank you, Harry. I've had that figured out for several minutes now. Actually, the pillars could also look like giant slabs of chocolate, too, that somehow don't melt in this ring of fire Voldemort has me trapped inside. The point is, the color of them doesn't match with the floor, ceiling, or really any other part of this underground room that we're in. I mean, I get that you have to make them look somewhat different from the surrounding environment to clue the player that it's not just a static part of the scenery and can possibly be manipulated in some way, but still, they could have colored it to look more like a stone pillar. Now, Harry suggests to the player anyways that he could cast Flipendo on the wobbly pillars, and even if he didn't and had no idea what was going on, you would still see them wobble around when Voldemort hits them, since you're inevitably going to hide behind them anyways. I didn't see any sort of hint about the mirror either, so you're obviously expected to figure that out on your own.
You will yield to me, Potter.
Ah, shit, the mirror turned too far. Come on. See, I don't know how to outrun that. I just get lucky sometimes. Unlucky most of the time. Okay, I think he's firing those at me when the mirror has its thin side turned towards both of us in mid-rotation, so he Sort of has a clear shot at me for a split second. Yikes. Although, I might actually pull it off this time. I have more health than he does at this point. Just don't fuck up. Come on. Just one more hit, maybe. Yes, I got him. I defeated ass-face Voldemort. I beat the game. Took me like 4 fucking hours, but I did it. Oh no, still died. Oh well. Now here comes Dumbledore. Kicking me in the knee.
Dumbledore smiled. What happened down in the dungeons between yourself and Professor Quirrell is a complete secret, he said. So naturally, the whole school knows. The stone had been destroyed, but Harry remained fearful that its loss would not prevent Lord Voldemort's return. Dumbledore nodded, sharing his concern. Nevertheless, Harry, if our battles do no more than slow Voldemort's return, with luck he may never regain his power at all.
Wait, what? When you say slow, that makes it sound like he would eventually gain power just over a longer period of time. Not never.
Harry made his way down to the end of the year feast alone that night. The Great Hall was decked out in green and silver to celebrate Slytherin winning the House Cup.
Boo!
When Harry entered, there was a sudden hush. He took a seat between Ron and Hermione, trying to ignore the stares of the other students.
The other students look like garden gnomes.
The House Cup, announced Dumbledore, is awarded to the team with the most house points. At the moment, that would seem to be Slytherin.
At the moment.
A storm of cheering and stamping broke out from the Slytherin table.
And ironically, the other houses were hissing.
However, continued Dumbledore, in recognition of Mr. Harry Potter's pure nerve and outstanding courage, I award Gryffindor 60 points. Harry's table erupted with cheers and applause. The additional point had won the House Cup for Gryffindor. It was the best evening of Harry's life. Better than winning at Quidditch or Christmas or knocking out mountain trolls. He would never, ever forget tonight.
Well, I figure anything would be better than dealing with a mountain troll, especially winning. Oh no, this cocksucker. Although it did turn out to be innocent. Though I forgot about these two. I'm actually really curious what's gonna happen here. Yeah, that was good. That was a great way to end an okay game, I guess. So, to sum this up, this isn't really either a good or bad game. The only thing special about it is the fact that it's Harry Potter. The control is awful, and the way the story is sometimes presented makes little sense. On the other hand, there are some humorous moments and a few fun secrets to stumble across in the colorful and interesting rendered world of Hogwarts and its grounds, so it's a mixed bag, meaning that I would personally only recommend this to people who are fans of Harry Potter, but for those who weren't interested enough to try it out based on that alone, I'd say don't bother.